first speaker, he's been a supporter since the very beginning. He was really behind this club, and I was so excited when he said he was joining the club. I became aware of him, as I've shared before, when he came to the coaches and did a presentation, and I was just blown away by his ability to stand in front of us and entertain us and teach us and inspire us. I love his spinning plates. I still use that when I'm talking to my students. Used it today, as a matter of fact. Nice. He sometimes, when he comes up and shares his critique of another speaker, he will give us information, help us learn, and he will often refer to the fact that he is giving information that he got from his coach, to whom he's paid good money. And every time I hear that, all I can think is, why are you paying someone? People should be paying you, because I just think you are that great a speaker. I'm so excited. Please help me welcome Clinton with his speech, Black Sheep Habits.
No pressure.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Absolutely no pressure there at all, right?
No, none.
I'm walking in to this broke down call center, getting ready for my first day of my new job. And it's a sobering moment, because just a few years prior to that, I had my first 2 years where I broke the $100,000 mark, and it was the best 2 years financially of my life. I was fortunate enough to travel the world, and I had ultimate time flexibility. Then I moved into the next 2 years of my life that were the complete opposite of that. I lost my business. I lost my property. I almost lost my wife. A year after that, I had unemployment for a whole year. But when you're an entrepreneur, you don't collect a check, so I had nothing. And then I landed at this job, where I'm about to cold call hundreds and hundreds of business owners every day to sell them ad space in a high school athletic calendar, making $8 an hour. Not that there's anything wrong with making $8 an hour, right? Or doing that kind of role. But I felt like I'd already been there. I'd already done that. I got the t-shirt. And I just felt like it was a step back for me. And it was. So we're getting ready to walk in, and this is the kind of place where they hire like 10 people a week because their turnover is that bad. It's like 9 people every 3 weeks are gone. So they hire 10 people a week. So I'm here with my 10 closest friends that I just met, and we're walking into the room, and it feels like I get smacked right in the face like that with this loud thumping house music. Boom, 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 boom. I look around, there's 50 people standing on phones shouting. It's like the boiler room. And I look up and I lock eyes with this guy. Long hair, big fat mustache, full on 70s gear. And he is just rocking out, pointing at all of us as we're walking in. And I'm just like, what did I sign up for? One of the 10 guys literally peeled off, walked out the side door, never to be seen again. He didn't even make it to orientation. So I'm in there pounding the phone, and again, hundreds of calls throughout the day. And then they'll ring a bell. About every 90 minutes, ring a bell, we take a 10-minute break. So I'm out in the courtyard. I'm sitting in this little chair, this little plastic chair. When they ring the bell, everybody scatters like roaches. Some people are off smoking, some people are off gossiping, some people are smoking and gossiping. And I'm sitting there in this chair, and I can feel everybody looking at me. And I say feel because I have my eyes closed. You see, I'm meditating. If you don't know what meditation is, it's simply closing your eyes and thinking about nothing and focusing on your breath. It's a great way to settle in. And that's what I was doing. Have my sunglasses on, so I'm looking like Rain Man now, right? Skinny kid with a big head looking like Rain Man now in the corner. Not making many friends in that scenario. So the bell rings and I get up, and I'm performing this, what I call black sheep habit. Right? A black sheep habit. What's a black sheep? Black sheep is someone, or a sheep, right? Obviously a different color. They're willing to step away from the herd. They're willing to look different and be different than the herd. So that was me. But when the bell rings, I gotta go in. Right? So I'm on the phone, I'm about 3 calls into my afternoon, and all of a sudden it's like the room just started melting. It's like the Matrix with the little green digits falling down, right? Time slows down. I feel like I have molasses in my mouth, but every word that comes out of my mouth is just perfectly landing. It's effortless. And I start closing sale after sale after sale after sale. Now, some of you might be thinking, wow, is this guy on drugs? No, the guy next to me was definitely on drugs, but I was not on drugs at the time. And I never had this experience again at that company. But it was the cumulative effect of all this meditation, 5 times a day, every day for 10 minutes. I was out in that courtyard, Rain Man, meditating. And it was a cumulative effect that we're stacking and stacking and stacking. And now I'm starting to reap the benefits of this meditation. With that practice, I ended up going on and becoming one of the top salespeople in that company in their history in the next 8 months. But the biggest thing I got out of that was that I started to get my confidence back. You see, when I went into that role, my confidence was shattered. But I started to rise from the ashes with that practice. And the biggest thing I learned in this process, it's actually a quote by Aristotle. And that quote is, "We are what we repeatedly do." Success, then, is not an act, but a habit. And habits aren't sexy, but they're the key to success, right? They're the key to success. The problem is most of us, we're not willing to look different, to be a little weird, maybe stand out a little bit. Be that black sheep. But when we are willing to step away from the herd and do things a little differently, maybe do some black sheep habits, like I call them, or other things that stretch us, we have the ability to then create an amazing life, an extraordinary life. And in doing so, we inspire other people to do the same thing. Mr. Toastmaster.
And he does not disappoint.